Welcome to the Moonrise Human Design channel. This is a space for you to learn about yourself and ultimately really love yourself, to appreciate your uniqueness, and therefore grow your capacity to appreciate and be curious and love the people in your life.
Human design is a really powerful tool to come back to yourself and to gain a greater sense of understanding and compassion for those around you, which is why we create this content. My name is Sam Foenhauer. I'm an embodiment coach, I'm an intuitive, and I'm a human design teacher based in Austin, Texas.
My name is Nadia Last. I am a therapist, also a human design teacher, and I'm based out of the Bay Area, California.
Together, we host the Moonrise Human Design podcast. We offer live and self-paced human design trainings for those who want to learn how to read charts. We do one-on-one and partnership readings where we go really deep into your chart. And we offer a price-accessible, personalized human design guidebook, which is like a very long, extensive reading for those who just want to learn everything about their chart at a low price point.
In today's video, you will learn about the 2-4 profile. We actually have a specific video detailing each of the 12 profiles. There are 12 in total, and today is a deep dive on what it means to be a 2-4.
So what is a profile? So a profile is your personality archetype. It's the way that you are here to share your gifts with the world. It's the role that you play. And there's 12 different types. They all impact who you are, but obviously you're not going to be exactly like everyone within your type. It's more about understanding your inner world and how you disperse all the other unique parts about your chart, all the other unique parts about you as a human out with others.
100%. It's basically helping you understand, how do I share my gifts with the world in a way that people will receive it and will feel most nourishing for me and most in alignment?
So the mechanics behind it. So 2-4, what are those numbers? Where do they come from? So with the profiles, there's 6 lines. There's a 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line, 5 line, 6 line. And your profile is 2 of the different lines. So as a 2-4, you have a 2 line and a 4 line. The order here matters. So you lead with your 2 line, meaning that this is going to be a part of your personality that are part of your world, part of your gifts that you're likely to identify with clearly. You're likely to recognize it in yourself. And it's a very important part of who you are. The second number is also an important part of who you are, but you may or may not see yourself in it. It may be more obvious to others around you. Either way, they're both valuable information and they're both worth exploring.
Yeah, and learning how they work together is of a special importance, and that's why we're going to emphasize that in today's video. But let's start with the second line, the 2 line. The second line is called the Hermit in human design. The Hermit is a really beautiful quality that you are meant to really lean into, especially because the 2 is listed first in your profile. So being a Hermit essentially means that you are here to really love and nurture your alone time. And something very magical happens when you're alone. When you are alone, you are able to connect in with your creative muse. What that means is that there's this inner creative fire within you that feels somewhat stunted when it's around other people. When other people feel like they're watching you, or when you're around other people, you can't quite tap into the purity of your gifts. As a 2 line, you are here to be very naturally gifted at things that can't necessarily be taught in a school or can't necessarily be learned from someone else. These are gifts that are very innate to you. And when you give yourself ample alone time, you're able to connect in with these gifts and really grow them over time.
The second line has these innate talents and things that are just very obvious to you. And we say the word creativity, we mean that term broadly. So this doesn't mean that like when you're alone, you all of a sudden get this yearning to start oil painting. Like maybe I have someone very close to my life with a 2 line and he loves the law. He's a lawyer. He just loves to go into his office and like read about Supreme Court cases and then like follow me around and talk to me about them. Like he has such a deep interest in it. And that is this creation. There's a way that he sees it that is unique. He has this real gift to be able to take in the information, to consider it, to interpret it, to offer insights on it. And so creativity can mean a lot of different things. It doesn't have to be just in the arts. It's a way about letting your gifts and your inner kind of your unique way that you take in information, ideas, insights, or express yourself and put them out.
Absolutely. Is there anything else we want to say about the second line?
I will say that the second line, it's so important that they get alone time. it's also important that they don't over-isolate. So the second lines are often not super aware of what they're really good at. And so they will need to be called out. People will see them be like, oh my God, you're so good at this. Like, you should do this. And it's up to the second line then to kind of feel into user strategy and authority, which are human design concepts that you can read about in other video or watch in other videos, to discern, okay, what things am I so good at that people are telling me do I want to pursue? And what things am I so good at that I'm not interested in? Just because you're really good at coding doesn't mean you should spend your whole career doing it. And you may have things that you're like, everyone tells me I'm such a good cook. I want to be a good chef. Maybe I'm going to pursue a career in the culinary arts. Okay, that feels really exciting. I'm going to pursue this. So the second lines will need to kind of like, they can't hermit so much that they prevent other people from noticing and helping them see what they're good at so they know what to invest their time to develop their skills.
Yes, but then it's this call and response, especially as the 2-4, which we'll get into in a moment, but it's be alone to really establish the purity of your gifts and to really feel connected to your own creative core. Be with others so that they can point out and call out in you what you're really good at, and then go alone again to figure out which of these calls, which of these applications of my gifts actually feels correct for my inner authority, for what feels best for me.
So what about the fourth line?
So as a fourth line, you are what's called an opportunist in human design. Opportunist simply means that you are constantly aware of the opportunities that exist in your relationships. You are a deeply relational being as a fourth line. You are very much designed to be aware of the humans in your life, to cultivate new relationships, to really invest in old relationships, and recognize that relationships in your life, they're kind of like a fruit tree that you plant, and then over time it grows into a tree, and over time that tree will yield fruits. That there are ways in which the relationships in your life are meant to sustain and support you. So there are opportunities that you'll gain from your network, and you're also meant to be somewhat of a matchmaker as well, connecting the people in your life with the right opportunities that they know and that they need rather as well.
The quality of your life will directly relate to the quality of your relationships. So if you're ever feeling stuck and stagnant in your life, ask yourself, what's up right now with my relationships? Have I spent in-person time with my friends? Have I called them, my family? Am I investing into those things? And if not, that's a really fantastic way to start. The fourth line has this quality where almost everything good and important in your life will come through your network. That just means that someone that you have some sort of personal relationship with. So this could be a friend or a family member, a close friend. It could also be someone that you worked with at an internship when you were 19 years old. And now you're in your 30s and somehow you're still connected, and they come out and help you out with something or engage with your work, or there's some sort of relationship here. The next job that you have, the partner, close friends, all of these things can come through your network and often do.
There is this quality though that will continuously balance you, especially as a 2-4. The 2 line wants to be alone. You can almost think of this as the more introverted part of your nature. The 4th line wants to externalize. It wants to share information. It wants to be with others and share with others. And as a 4th line, you're here to be deeply influential within the sphere of people who know you. And so there is this sort of balancing act. And as a 4th line, because you go so deep with the people that you love, you also need to build in time to basically like recharge your social batteries. So trust. You don't need to be an extrovert 100% of the time, nor do you need to be an introvert 100% of the time. There is almost an equal balance within your personality archetype as a 2-4.
And what that looks like for you will be determined by you and may shift in different seasons of your life. You may find that sometimes it feels really good to be leaning a little bit more in that 4th line community connection. And other times it feels really good to be leaning a little bit more into that hermit, and trust that. Especially if things are continuing to feel good, if you're continuing to feel aligned, things are flowing, then trust that. And then as it starts to feel like there's a little bit more friction, it's not going as easily, go back and reevaluate these points. As a 2-4, there is a little bit of inherent tension in this. Because like the way you're talking about, like, okay, be alone, now actually be with other people. And so that's the thing. You're you're multidimensional, you're multifaceted. And so both of these things are important.
Yes. I read once that a 2-4 profile is meant to bond with others through this equal balance of boldness and shyness, which I love. There is this softness to the 2 line, and there's this boldness to the 4th line. And 2-4s, you are meant to have both of these in equal measure. So that's all that we have for the 2-4 profile today, but we could talk about this profile for a lot longer, and we do in our much more detailed human design training. So if you're interested in joining that, we have both live and self-paced options that you can join. You can also go to our website, moonrisecommunity.com, and download a human design guidebook, which is a personalized, many pages long of your specific human design chart. We also do individualized readings, and we each also have our own podcasts. Sam hosts the Wild River podcast, and I host a podcast called The Current. So we'd love to hear more from you, and you can actually read more about that in the description of this video. If you like this video, please like, subscribe. It helps support this channel tremendously and allows us to continue creating content like this that's free and accessible. And we hope to hear from you soon.
Thanks for being here.